Hello, good morning, everyone. Today we will continue our journey. I'm joined today with Saud. We are trying to learn some of the advanced, we can say a little bit advanced data types for Python. So for Python, other than lists uh, and the other basic types that we took previously, which are the int type, the string, right, the boolean. These are, we can say, the basic types. Okay. Other than that, we have also advanced types like tuples, like sets, and dictionaries. Okay. So just before we move to these things, okay, remember that we are able, let me first zoom in a little bit. So clearly. Remember that we are able to uh, convert any type to the other. Okay, type conversion is very important concept that we need to understand. So what do I mean by type conversion? For example, when you read input from the user, okay, you store it in a variable, right? We already saw an example of it.
Yes.
For example, user input equals input, right? So whatever input you get from the user is going to be of type string. How did I know that? We can actually print it. So for example, I can print, and there is a special function called type. Okay, type, and it takes what? Object. So give it anything, basically anything that you can use, and it will tell you what is the type of that object. Okay, let's see now. If you run this program, let's give it, even though I'll type 1, 2, 3. Look at the type. What is the type? String, correct. Okay. How can I validate if the type is string? You can simply say equal str. Okay, str is a class. So if I run the program again, 1, 2, 3, what do you think the output will be?
String.
No, I mean the output of this print statement. You can see what I'm doing here.
False.
False or true?
False.
False. Okay, let's see. It's actually true. Because I'm talking about the string class itself. So this, whatever you printed here, is actually the string class. This is this, actually. Makes sense? But this is
Yes.
how it's represented. Yani. It will not print the entire string class for you. It will tell you, this is, by the way, an object of class string. That's it. Okay? What other things other than str we have? We have str. We have int. We have bool. Okay? We have list. These are, we call them reserved keywords. Reserved, that means we cannot use them. Don't create a variable called list or int or str. Okay, it will break the program. Okay, make sure, like you see, I already made this mistake here. Usually call it my list, but don't use these keywords. So str, int, bool, list, float also. Okay, so how can we convert one data type to the other? For example, I will skip the user input. I don't need it. Okay. For example, str, and I will give it a number. And I will say, I can say print, for example. Okay. Now, if I print this, you can see in the terminal, I cannot tell. Yani, it will print 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure if 1, 2, 3 is a number or a string, right? I cannot tell from here. So how can I double check if it's actually a string?
Equal and
You're close, but I already converted it to string.
equal string.
Exactly, equal str. If I run this, what it will print?
Oh,
Also, oh wait, str3 equal. So type of. We need to convert it to type. We need to get the type of it first. Okay. So if you get the type of the string after conversion, it will print true. Okay. So this is how we can validate the type of whatever we are dealing with. Okay. Any object. So it's good to know how to use it. Actually, I'm not sure if we included this in the cheat sheet. Let me add it here. This conversion. I'll add it here in conversion. I will add type of, for example, 100 equal int. This will return what?
oh,
True. True. Okay, checks the type of the object. And I already included str, int, float, bool. Did I miss something? List. List can be used in specific scenarios. Like for example, if you have a set, you can convert it to a list. Okay. We'll see now. What do I mean? Convert. Okay, let's go back. So this is how we convert to str. What about int? The same story. If I pass it a string 1, 2, 3, 4, and I print, no need to print. I think خلاص. I'll just use let's print the type. Type of int. Okay, here. It is of class int now. Okay, because we converted the string 1, 2, 3, 4 into int. What if I do this?
it's gonna still be
Integer.
int.
But what is the output?
The output is
If I do this print,
it's gonna be integer.
it's integer. I know, but I mean, what is the number that will be printed?
1,
it-
2, 3, 4.
Is it going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.8, or 0.8? Which one?
1, 2, 3.8.
0.8. Sure. 0.8, is it an integer?
No.
It's not an integer, right? It will become a
Float.
float. So if we want to make it an integer, which one should we pick? A, B, or C?
A.
A, correct. And this is actually the output. So it will by itself, what? Strip it. Oh, actually, it will not even allow it to convert, okay? Because it's literal int, invalid literal int. In conversion, it will not convert it, okay? Which is strange, actually. Can we actually specify the support trunk? Integer. Okay, I think it's not like other languages. In other languages, they actually remove the decimal places, okay? But in this case, it will throw an error. Okay, it will tell you I cannot convert this to integer. Even though the conversion is very easy. I just take this part, okay, and discard this. But I think with Python, okay, maybe if I try to, let's try this. This works. Makes sense?
Yes.
So if you take it and convert it to its correct data type, which is float first, and then give the float to integer, then it will understand that you want to remove the decimal. So Python is trying to be careful here. It's trying to not misinterpret what you want to do. So if we go back to the same example and say that, by the way, this is actually a float, sorry. Okay, it will not complain. It will give us the float value, okay? And this float, then later we can, what? And you can do this, by the way, you can see. And I'm calling a function within a function within a function. And this will eventually convert it to integer on 2 steps, okay? So we have to be careful actually when we want to convert values, because if we try to feed it the wrong value, it will not convert it on our behalf. It will throw an error, okay? Which actually I didn't know before about Python. Okay? I always assumed that it will do this conversion without problem. Because you know why? With Boolean, for example, if I call a Boolean and I give it a string, an empty string, and try to print this value, okay, what do you think it will print? Boolean, what is the Boolean? First, you know what's a Boolean?
Yeah, it's the true or false.
Correct. Okay, so if I try to convert the empty string to Boolean,
It's gonna be false.
correct. It's going to be false. But if I just add a space inside,
True.
it's going to be true. طب okay, yeah, Python, you know how to convert it. Why you cannot convert it? Which is a little bit strange, okay? And you know how to convert this, which is not obvious at all, but you failed to convert 1.3. Really? Seriously? It's okay. Let it pass. What to do? Okay. So this is, but if you pass 0, what do you think it would be?
It's true.
Still true. Any value, basically. If it's empty, then it will be false. When it comes to numbers, if you pass any number, it will be
True.
correct, true. If you pass 0,
It's still true.
true?
Yeah.
No, actually for 0, it will be false. Special case. So 0 by itself is the only falsy number. Any other number will be what? Even -1, it will be true. Yeah, we have to memorize these things. It doesn't make sense, but okay. So this is bool conversion. List. In order to understand this conversion, we have to take the other type of lists, which are tuples and sets and dictionaries. We'll go through it, okay? And float we spoke about. So we covered these. Now let us talk about tuples. Tuples are special data type that is contained of only 2 elements. How do we define a tuple? My tuple equals 1, 2. How do I know it's a tuple? Print type of my tuple. To tell you is a tuple. Okay. What can I do with a tuple? Just call it and say dot count. Okay. Index. And basically that's it. Okay. How can I access the data in the tuple? I believe it's this way. Actually, yeah, this is. So this is how we access the first item in a tuple, and this is how we access the second. Oh, wait, let me say it. This is how we access the first item, 0. 0 index, okay? So 0, and this is how we access the second item, which is 2, right? Let me make this. So why would we use this data type? When, okay, let me actually give you a very common use case of it. If you take, for example, input from the user, and that input is on, for example, it's a coordinate x and y. So tuple is perfect for coordinates, right? Because
Right.
always we have إحداثيات is always what؟ إحداثيات طول إحداثيات العرض صح؟ I think they actually designed it for this case, and we can double check. And by the way, actually, wait a second. Oh, sorry. In tuples, actually, we can have multiple, not only two. We can have multiple items. Okay, so we can do this. But actually, the only difference between the tuple and the other data types is that you cannot modify it. Okay, now I remember. A tuple and the list are very similar. The only difference in the syntax here is what? The brackets, right? They are very similar. So a tuple is more than 2 items. You can have as many items as you want. But the only difference is you cannot modify it later. Okay, so if you call this, it will print everything. Okay. In a tuple, you notice that I cannot add anything. Count an index only. I can count the item. I can get, for example, an index of an item. Okay, value. So give me the index of 4. Okay. The index of, we need to print it. To give us 3. Why? Because it's 0-based index. So 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it's very limited, but it is only meant to be limited and meant to be what? Immutable. So I cannot modify it. Once it's created this way, I cannot add anything to it. Unlike a list I can always call append and add more items. Okay. So store multiple values, built-in data type, and we mentioned that what are their cousins, the tuple, are list, set, dictionary. These are like all, can say, trouble. Okay, it is unchangeable as a method. Cannot change it. Okay, and that's it. I mean, it's really, of course, there are many ways to handle tuples and use it as a data type. Many use cases, but I'll not focus on them today. I just want you to know the concept of it. Other than tuples, we have sets. Set equals 1, 2, 3, 4, for example. A set is a little bit different. Now we print a set. It will print the same set, but now if I check the functions that I can use for the set or extension methods, I can see they are a little bit more advanced than lists. Okay, we have pop, intersection, difference. A set is meant to be used with other sets. You can join sets, expand them. Intersection, that means intersection, it will do what? For example, if you have 2 sets, it will tell you what are the items matching. Like if I draw 2 circles and there's overlap between these 2 circles, yes, right? So it's useful for these kind of operations. Unlike list is more about items, appending, removing, ordering, sorting, right? But this one is what? Is more about these kind of operations. So a set by itself is not that useful, but when you try to do operations between 2 sets, now becomes what? little bit advanced. So let's go to sets here. It's unordered. We don't care about ordering that much. One of the most important things, unlike lists, tuples, set does not allow duplication. So if I append or add item to it, of 4, for example, okay, and I print my set again, it will print 1, 2, 3, 4. It will add another 4. Exactly. So it will discard it. Okay. So it's one of the main advantages actually. So for example, if I have this list, okay, and I have 4, 4, 4, 4, okay, and I want to get rid of duplicate easily. You know what I can do? I can take this list and say set list, right? Set is the class itself, okay? So it will take that list,
convert it
to set, and if you want, convert it back to list. So you'll get the list without its duplicates, very easily, without doing any loops or anything, okay? If you run this, now your list is what? Cleaned out of any duplicates. Neat trick, right? So this is like a shortcut method, okay? And actually, you can, by the way, all of these sets, tuples, dictionaries, you can loop over them. How we can loop over them? All of them are done the same way. For item in my list, print item. Here, printed the items. Okay. For item in my tuple, print item. Here, to print all the items. For item in my set. Here, to print all the items. So if you want to loop over it, this is the way. Okay. Now all of these are on one side, we can say, okay, and then the dictionary is on the other. Dictionary is key value, okay? It's meant to be key value pairs. So the way you define it is different than all of these. All of these, and the main difference is what kind of brackets we use. Brackets, parentheses, curly bracket. This is, we call it curly. Curly bracket, parentheses, and bracket. Okay. So these are the way we enclose these items inside, okay? Now, if we comment all of this, and I try to define my dictionary, okay, and I call it, in order to define the dictionary, you open the same way you define a set, curly brackets, but inside, what you will do is what? Start with a string and say, for example, name, and then see what I will do, column. For example, I think it's written this way, so, okay. And then, for example, mobile, and you have to enclose it in a string. I will type any number, accepted the number. And for example, is student, and then I can give it true. And then I can type, for example, GPA, okay, and I can give it 3.9. So all the data types under the sun can be used with this key value pair, okay? So this is nice to store key value pairs, and to access that key value pair directly by name. By name. Okay. And the same way as I said, it will not accept a duplicate key. So if I try to give it another name, Hamad, for example, what will happen?
It will not accept it.
Actually, it will accept it, but it will overwrite. Let's try it, okay? So how we can actually do that? So if I call my dictionary, and then I call, see, it's giving me even suggestions. Then I call name, and then I say, and then I print my dictionary.
It will print Hamid, not Shah.
Exactly. Yeah. It will change the name. So it's predictable. Okay, how can I add another key? Before we had append method, but here we don't have any append methods. So how can I add another key?
Update.
Not update, no. Actually, it is as simple as, for example, age equals 21. This will add another
age.
key. Okay, and if we save, you can see it is added. So dictionary is a little bit nice for certain use cases where you want to store key value pairs only. You don't care that much about ordering and sorting and just the store. And it is meant to be used that way. And what is nice about it is that you can access directly by name instead of index. Sometimes index is what? Hard to remember. It's confusing really. When I say, okay, give the index of 4. It's not straightforward. Okay. So this is a dictionary. If we go here, a dictionary is one of the most famous data types actually. It has many names. For example, hash map. Sometimes they call it hash map in C#, for example, in Java. Okay. So used to store data values in key value pair. Dictionary is collection which is ordered, changeable, does not allow duplicates. Kada kada. Okay, this is how we print. Ordered, unordered. We don't care about ordering that much. Duplicates, okay. We can get the links of any of these, by the way. So if I uncomment all of these, okay, and print en of what? My list, my tuple, my set, my dictionary will answer me for all of these. So length is useful to be used for getting the length of basically anything, even string. Even string, it will work with strings. So if you have a string, 1, 2, 3, 4, run it again. But now it's becoming confusing a little bit, so let me comment all of these. Let's see this. 1, 4. So length is also an important function. I don't know actually if I added it here. I think here in lists. Yeah, it's the first thing. Okay. So we covered, you can say, the advanced data types. These are all important. It basically, and you have to know what to use to solve which problem. Okay? You don't want duplicates, you use what? Tuple. No, not tuple. The other one.
Set.
Set, exactly. You want to store data and access it by name?
The one dictionary.
Correct. You want to loop over many items?
List.
You want to store data and never change it?
This one is double.
Correct. So and it is not set in stone. It's not only these are the use cases. لا. With practice you'll discover when it is appropriate to use which data type. Okay. Okay. So now actually I want to, because we are out of time, I want to go to vjudge, this website we've been practicing on. And try to solve with you a problem. Okay, because we really don't have we don't have time. We have today, we'll practice. What happened and what will happen today. خلاص, it's out of our hand. Okay, but tomorrow we still have tomorrow, right?
Right.
So Friday is not off day. Friday we will meet. Okay, and we'll try to also solve some of these. So I'm always coming back to these and trying to solve more and more and more. Okay, and we are not giving up, as they say. Okay, so this is an example of a problem of level 2. Okay, level 2, that doesn't mean it's advanced or anything. No, they're all, but it's focusing on something else. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, the first level was all math, numbers, and addition, multiplication, and these kind of things. We got stuck yesterday, me and Samer, on a formula. We couldn't figure it out. It was very simple, but because we are not math geniuses, okay? We cannot memorize the distance formulas and the speed, and unfortunately, by the way, it is used a lot. And now it's no longer a programming contest, it's a physics and math contest, okay?
Okay.
So we need, and I told Namer yesterday that we came to the conclusion we need a math genius in each group.
Yes.
How can we find this math genius? I don't know. Are you a math genius?
No, not.
Okay. We'll keep looking. Okay, we need that math genius because, okay, no, someone who knows how to convert math into programming is there already, which is Summer. Okay, but we need the guy who's going to come up with the math system. Okay, the formulas that we will convert. Okay, because yesterday even we googled all, we couldn't figure it out, unfortunately. And the solution for that problem was 2 lines. We spent, I think, 1 hour and a half. And then the next problem, we solved it in 5 minutes.
You just need to figure it out.
Yeah, really, it is that. That's why we are reading this problem now, okay, to figure out. Okay, and I'll try to give you hints here and there. So, okay, whatever, I cannot pronounce this. Given a lowercase English letter C, lowercase c, determine whether it's a vowel. Here, there are 5 vowels in this English alphabet. They gave us the vowels. Okay, C is a lowercase English letter. Output, if C is a vowel, print vowel. Otherwise, then print consonant. Simple? Okay, now let's first go to our drawing board. So I like to draw the question, okay? Given a lowercase English letter C. So this is what C is what?
Is a lowercase.
English input. And it's coming from where? Is what?
Input.
Exactly. So figure out what are my inputs. Okay. What are my inputs? So inputs. We only have one, صح? C. Which is what again?
It's the input.
Yeah, which is what? Exactly. Lower case. Character. Make it clear before you type any code.
Okay.
Don't rush and program. Break it down. Okay. Inputs. Okay. Constraints. It's a lowercase English letter. Okay. We agree. يعني we don't have to do anything special here. Okay. Okay. What else? They're helping us. They're giving us what? The English alphabet vowels. And actually, if we import which class that give us the vowels? Uh, String, yeah, I believe. If you import this library, string, you have access to something called escalators, lowercase. No, they don't. Actually, they don't have vowels. Okay. Then you can go check if they don't give you the vowels, because I already prepared this. Go check the cheat sheet. Okay, I believe I placed it. Where was it? Ah, see this? It's a function that will count vowels and consonants. And you can see I included the vowels here. So you can copy it here. You can copy this and use it. Nice. It includes also the capital case. And it is matching what? Where is our problem? It is matching our problem. A, E, I, O, U. A, E, I, O, U. So we have both uppercase and lowercase. So it's better, right? So if
Yes.
the user is trying to trick us, and we can catch that. So we define the vowel. We define the input. Okay. So in the end, what is the output? How many outputs do I have?
Two.
Excellent. Two. What are they?
Value.
This word and this word. Okay, whatever. Okay, so these are the expected outputs. Okay. Now I want you to write it yourself. I defined some parameters for you. There's no need to import this. So these are the vowels, these are the inputs, and these are the outputs. Let me just write them. Let me copy this line. Okay, go ahead. Break it down in 2 steps. What is the first step?
First step to make an output.
Directly? Okay, go back to the problem. Look at the sample.
If C is
The first thing, just focus on the sample itself. What is the first thing they are doing?
input.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So they will give you the input. How can you capture the input?
Print input.
No.
Mm.
They will give you an input A. How can you get that value and use it in your program?
Output.
No, I'm telling you, I will give you an input A. How can you use it? How can we capture input from the terminal? And when we type here something, then hit enter. How can I capture it and use it? What is the function we used before?
If.
No, not if. Think. It is in the sentence that I said. No, use 3.
Three.
Yeah, 3 fingers. Imagine that the user typed A in the terminal and hit enter. To take it and use it. Think. What are the functions that, remember the lesson IO, input output?
Yes.
Well, how many functions did we take in that lesson?
2.
Yes. Which one of them?
Remember.
We took 2 functions, right? Tell me what they are.
Maybe deaf.
No. In the I/O listen. In the input-output listen. We took output and we took
Input.
correct. So to capture an input, we use
Output. Input.
yes.
Yeah, the first thing I said is input. You said no.
No, you didn't. You never said input.
I said
Really?
yes.
Yeah,
I have said input. You said no.
I'm not sure. Okay. Okay, my fault. Okay. It is input. You just need to use input. Okay. And this will take the value.
Mhm.
And we need to keep it in a variable. How to store it?
خذينا الانبوت.
Yes. Store it in a variable. Whatever. You can call it whatever. User input or whatever.
الانبوت بعدين احط انه يساوي يعني ولا احط انه احط اللي يساوي قبلها ولا بعد؟
Think. Remember.
اخذ الانبوت بعدين اخلي الانبوت يساوي شيء.
No, usually the assignment, you take the value on the right, you put it in left.
مثلا شنو اسمي؟
Yes. Call it whatever. User input usually is يعني clear. You capture the input. Okay, excellent. Output, there's no function called output. It's print. Okay. So all you need to do is delete all of this. Okay, nice. Okay, run this program. Save it first. Always save, by the way.
How to say it?
It's not auto-save. No.
Mm.
You've been trying all this time. You
Yes.
thought it was saving?
Yes.
Sorry. You see this dot here? It means it's not saved. No, cancel. You have
How
to
to save it?
manually. I set this behavior myself. Command S. Sorry, I forgot to mention. I used it so much that I don't think about it. Okay, type anything. Okay, we captured it. Nice.
Yes.
Now, in order to print, of course, this is not the output they want.
Yeah,
They
I
want
know.
one of two, right? And you can see either vowel or consonant. So when should I print this and when should I print this?
The output was A,
You mentioned output now. If the what?
the input.
Input, okay. If the input was A,
Mhm.
طيب. You see that statement, if the input, write it down here. We took the if statement, صح? So say if, okay, then what?
If item.
No, what did you call the user input?
The user input.
Oh, you called it user input, huh? Call it. See, it's giving you intelligence, exactly. If user input, what there is a special keyword here that we can use. It will make our life very easy.
This one.
No, we still not, no, we didn't reach that part. You have to see condition need to take something that either will produce true or false.
Right.
Make sense?
Yes.
If it produces anything else, rubbish for it. Either produce true or produce false. So we want to test if this user input part of this string. So what is the keyword that we use? No. Because okay, what will happen here if I say it's equal to vowels?
False.
Yeah, because the user need to type what?
Need to type this.
Exactly. صح?
Yes.
But there's another one that we can use.
If input contains.
Contains. I like this word. I like that you picked that word. Okay. Try contains. Dot. There is contains?
No.
No, go through them with the arrows. Ends with. What do you think of ends with? Will it work?
No.
Why?
Because there is more
Is there actually more?
than word.
Have you noticed the user input is always
Okay.
it's always one character, صح?
Yes.
Actually ends with will work. What if I told you also where is it? Start with will also work.
Start. Yes.
End with or start with, because it's only one character. What if I told you also find will work? Huh?
So.
Multiple ways to solve it. What if I told you, of course, all of this we need to do, actually there is a problem. There's a problem with all of these that we mentioned. Using them is not straightforward. Meaning, okay, we say ends with, صح? Ends with takes what? Can take
Double.
Ah, it can take a string, okay, and of course, if we give it this string, it will also give false because it doesn't end with all of this, right? But if we
Right.
give it a tuple, it will work. But we are overcomplicating things, not simplifying. If we do find, we have to do it the other way around. And if we say find, that means vowels dot find. And then find what?
User input.
And if it finds it, what's it will return? Check it out. It returns what? The index. And returns what?
-1
When?
on failure.
So when it cannot find it.
Yes.
Okay, is it actually simplifying the process or becoming
More complicated.
exactly. So okay, like you can use these find ends with start with, and actually I recommend that you learn how to use them because on the long run, when the program starts getting bigger and more complicated, you will need them. Okay, so it's nice to know how to use these things. And I think did I include find in the cheat sheet? Okay, we have find here in the substring find, and you can see even no, actually I didn't include. Let me include it for the list because it's actually very important here. Our list. If we say list, or because list and string we said they are the same, right?
Yes.
A list is a list of things. A string is a list of what?
Is a list of anything.
Okay, but anything that is
String or
is a string.
vintage.
Basically a list of characters.
Yes.
Okay, so list dot find. Okay, and if I give it, for example, 2, no, actually, let me give it 10. That doesn't exist. Returns -1 on not found. If found returns index. Okay, so this way we are adding, we keep adding. Okay, so find is very important actually. But in this case, it is as simple as saying, is the user input in vowels?
Okay.
That's it. If the user input in vowels, what we will do? Okay, you continue.
كذا صح؟
Excellent. Okay, what
بعدين
is it?
اكتب else.
Excellent. Yes.
هذا ليش كذا؟
close it. Why? Pay attention to indentation.
Okay.
Pay attention to indentation. Where this should be. LF is part of what? Just
إيه.
yeah, and it's helping you, صح? Giving
Yes.
you.
وين هذا البرنامج ترى راح؟
شو صار؟ let's see. Or vjudge. Listen.
بس ما يحتاج استخدم ألف. كذا خلاص. أنا أسوي سيف.
Okay, wait. There is a problem. You can see the red line. Okay, then. What is the problem? Nice, I like it. Okay, do we need this last print?
Print out. Yes. No, we don't.
Remember, always go back to the list of inputs and outputs. Only these two outputs are expected. So this output is not expected. Okay. Now, why did you do it this way? Why did you make it shorter?
مو شورتر بس يعني كذي أكو كذي.
Okay, better to stick to the convention, right? Okay. Test the cases now. You have three samples, صح? A, Z, and
Yes.
S. Okay. Test them. Find the problem.
Did you save it?
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So A, vowel. Is it actually correct? Vowel. Z, did you test Z?
Yes. If or anything.
Where is Z? It's not here. Test Z also. This is F.
Yes.
No, test exactly the cases that they are using in the sample.
There.
Okay, and the last one?
Is
S. Okay, test S. Correct? Perfect. Shall we submit?
yes.
Submit the answer? Okay. Yes. And of course, we can take everything, but even the comments. We go here, submit. We select Python. Try to select Python. Which version?
The newest.
Yes, 3.10 if possible. Okay. We paste the answer and submit. Version. Okay.
Okay.
So this is one of the level 2 problems. Do you want to try this or خلاص نبتدي?
I'm still.
Okay. Okay, I think it was a good session. We solved one problem and we'll keep inshallah solving as many as we can. Okay. And we learned also a new method, which is fine.
Yes.
Right? It's very excellent for advanced use cases. But sometimes all we need to do is use n. So n, it will tell you if an item exists in a list, basically.
Okay.
If an item exists in a list. So you can use it also for this case. Yeah. We can actually take this, make it this way, and do it this way. By the way, you can do it this way also. Single quote, okay, but better to stick to one of them. And you can say if something exists in this list. If A, something, print this. Exactly the same. It will work exactly the same. Right, so this is how you can imagine a list. This is how you can imagine an item in a list. Lists are excellent, and for most use cases, you can use lists. For special cases, you can resort to tuples, sets, and dictionaries. Okay?
Okay.
So this concludes our session. Thank you all for joining us, and see you in the next training.